Hey guys, so here's my review of Green Lantern issue 3. So back in issue 2, we find out that Hal Jordan got a Green Lantern ring that Sinestro made for him. And that's where, issue 3 picks up. We find out that Carol finds out that, Hal got back his ring and he's Green Lantern again. And, she sees on the news about what happened that night of how Hal and Sinestro saved everybody from the bridge. So, after Carol finds out, Sinestro's still trying to ask Hal to come and help him save his home planet. And of course, Hal agrees to it, but he wants to, go talk to Carol for one, before he leaves. But of course Sinestro says, you can't go talk to her because you are working on my terms, and if whatever I say goes, and you can't live without that ring because I made it for you, so I have the off and on switch for your ring, so if you want to use it, you have to listen to me. And there we go. So after that, we open up to the Guardians who created the Green Lantern rings. And we find out that, one of the Guardians says that he, left the Guardians to understand the Green Lanterns more. And, he was talking about how when they made the Manhunters to patrol the universe, that when they were patrolling the universe, that they had flaws. So when, the Manhunters had flaws, they created the Green Lantern Corps. And, now that he finds out that the Green Lantern Corps has their own flaws because the ring only chooses people who have really strong willpower, but they never look at, the person's faults or their flaws in themselves. So that's when the Guardian said, so now, that they figure out that the Green Lantern has their own flaws, that now it's time to create a third army, trying to, destroy the Green Lanterns and create a new one. Now that's interesting. The Green Lantern Corps has been, protecting the universe for, ages now. And now the Guardians are creating a new one, which I am interested in. And then, we open off with Sinestro talking to Hal and Jordan again, and now they're explaining their, their tactic of taking back Sinestro's home planet. Now, their plan is that Sinestro says that Hal, you need to be the one to, go into the power battery for the Sinestro Corps. If you go in there, it will destroy it with this Green Lantern, the lantern they have like that powers up their ring. So he tells Hal Jordan to go in there. Now, the thing that actually destroys the power battery is that Sinestro operated it or has it to, destroy itself if a Green Lantern were ever to infiltrate it. So that's his plan. That was his failsafe. And Hal thought that, whenever you were going to go back to being a Green Lantern again, you were going to destroy the Sinestro Corps. And, Sinestro says, no, that was never the idea. I never wanted to be a Green Lantern again. I wanted to be my own, person. He doesn't want to be ruled by the Green Lanterns. So they go as planned. They go to the planet and they sneak off at midnight when the sun goes down so they can be in stealth mode. Now, in stealth mode, we actually figure out that the ring's able to turn their Green Lantern costume black, which is interesting. I never figured that out before. I never knew that, but that's a really, really interesting thing I never knew. But yeah, so they infiltrate their planet and they Sinestro starts making a distraction, attacking the Sinestro Corps because they're attacking somebody he knows. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Aransan, or I don't know how to pronounce her name, but of course she gets attacked and Sinestro goes off and starts the the plan. And Hal Jordan goes into the power battery, takes out one of the Sinestro Corps members because he was guarding it, and he goes in. And once he goes in, the power battery starts destroying him. It starts disintegrating Hal Jordan and destroying him. And Sinestro didn't know what was going on. He didn't even make it that if a Green Lantern were going to go in there, it was going to destroy it. But they were only to, for having a Green Lantern destroy the power battery, not having the power battery destroy the Green Lantern. Now that's an interesting thing. And then we see Hal Jordan get disintegrated, and Hal Jordan dies. I don't know what's going to happen in the next issue or if Hal Jordan's going to be brought back alive, but you know, this is where the issue of Hal Jordan dies, and Sinestro is to be blamed for it. He's not to be blamed for it, but he didn't really know that, you know, the battery was going to disintegrate him. But of course, you know, Hal thought that, you know, Sinestro set him up. But, you know, that's where the issue ends off, and now I think Sinestro's going to be really pissed, because in the next issue it says Sinestro's dark side. So we're going to get to see, you know, Sinestro get blown off because he let Hal Jordan die. So this issue, Green Lantern, so far is going really good. I mean, you had to read the Green Lantern issues before, you know, to understand it, because they weren't starting fresh for the Green Lanterns. Neither was Batman. So to read this, it's still great. You know, it's a great read. Having Sinestro and Hal, you know, duke it out with one another. That, you know, Hal has to side with Sinestro when they've been fighting each other for so long, and having to work together. And actually, you know, seeing them work together, you know, even though they have their own differences, you know, Hal still agrees to help with Sinestro. And, yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this comic. I mean, so far it's going good. It's interesting having the concept of the Guardians creating a new, you know, army that might be able to destroy the Green Lanterns themselves. So we might get to see an all-out war, or, you know, we might see the Green Lanterns stop the Guardians. We don't know, because I've heard the Guardians have been a force to reckon with, that they seem to be more of like trying to be like those, like one of those big villains that grow and then they just take over the world, that kind of thing. Like, you think they're good, but then they grow into being evil, and their intents are more, you know, for bad things than doing good. Then yeah, pick up Green Lantern issue number 3 when you guys have the chance.